And we're back. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Roll School. My name is Nathaniel. I'm the host here of the channel, and we are back with another Commander deck unboxing. This is 2 out of 4 of the Marvel Superheroes Commander decks. This one is Avengers Assemble, Grow Your Ranks, Equipment, and Counters themed. Very excited to jump into this. One thing I want to point out that I just always find unique in Magic, anytime you have white, blue, and red, it is in that order. It is in white, blue, and red. But for Captain America's deck, they did make it red, white, and blue, and I love that. They did the same thing for the card. The actual mana symbols are in red, white, and blue order. So I think that is very unique and very cool. Before we jump into the deck unboxing, I will say make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe. Any and all of it's greatly appreciated. We are sitting at 442 subscribers at time of recording, and we would love for you guys to get us to that big 450. I believe we can do it. Let's take a look at the back. Always count on Cap. Captain America team leader. Rally the Avengers. With Captain America boosting your power and abilities for each hero you add to the team. Attach equipment and stack counters to ensure your ranks are suited up to save the world. And we'll be reading that card in just a second when we actually break it out of the deck. Here we go, people. Huh. That's a nice quote. You can do this all day. That is kind of funny. Like the I can do this all day meme / quote. I like it. All right. We talk about these decks are a little bit higher in value, but don't worry. You are still getting all of your money worth out of these premium deck boxes. All jokes aside, I do enjoy these deck boxes. They're very nice, and they are extremely useful when it comes to storing the deck. So very happy this exists. Don't hate on the little inserts. It's nice that it teaches people how to play and what the colors do. So let's take a look at that first. So why is Captain America and Nick Fury aligned in red, white, and blue? Nick Fury is bound by a complex sense of duty and order associated with white mana, while utilizing the blue-aligned cerebral mind games and deceit of spycraft, as well as the red-aligned aggressive firepower of war. Why is Captain America red, white, and blue? Something about it just feels correct. Avengers Assemble, playing the deck. Avengers Assemble, Captain America team leader spearheads the charge into the fight, flanked by his fellow heroes. Each creature you cast adds new strength and abilities to your arsenal, so don't be shy when you're laying down your offensive line. Strengthen your Avengers ensemble by finding ways to place counters and attach equipment like Hulkbuster armor. Under the guidance of Director Nick Fury as your commander, you can gather intel on hero cards and call them into battle for a lower cost. Pretty cool. I don't think we're going to be running Nick Fury as the backup commander. We'll be running it as Captain America team leader, but it's cool to see that there is a backup commander. Captain America team leader. The title of Captain America has been held by many over the years, but none held it longer than Steve Rogers. As a scrawny, sickly teen in the earliest days of World War II, Steve volunteered for an experimental super soldier program that would grant him strength, stature, and agility to fight for his country. But the one thing the super soldier serum couldn't grant him was something he already possessed, a kind, honest heart. It was with that heart that Cap made a noble sacrifice during the war, leaving him frozen under ice for decades. He awoke in the modern era as a man out of time, but just in time to serve as the most renowned leader of the Avengers. Director Nick Fury, Nicholas J. Fury, is the eye in the sky, the operative in the shadows, and the power behind the scenes. As an elite spy master and the director of S.H.I.E.L.D., Fury keeps close tabs on Earth's many threats, so he can call upon the right heroes to face them. He's survived this long by keeping his secrets close to his chest and never overplaying his hand, even if that means his trust is nearly impossible to earn. All right, let's dive into it. We've got a really, really cool looking commander card here. Of course, if you need the punch outs, do use them, but we, of course, will be using dice. Sure, just throw it on the floor there, darling.
Yeah, you'll pick it up later.
Can we open this?
No.
Please? All right, there we go. Got it. And diving into the cards. Boom. Sliding them out. Bam. And more trash that I'm sure will end up on the floor. There it goes. All right, so of course, we will take a look at the proper commander first. Actually, we dive into the tokens first, so let's do that. Of course, we have our rules reference kind of guide cheat sheet thing. So there is that. And throw those cards back on top. Here we go. So let's see what we got here. We have we have treasure, 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 treasure. A lot of treasure. Here we have a 1/1 bird. We've got, oh, just all treasure and 1/1 birds. That is all the tokens we need, people. Treasures and 1/1 bird tokens. I love it. Sure. All right. Let us grab the bottom card, which is, of course, Captain America, Team Leader. Very shiny, very cool art here. Red, white, and blue 3/3. Whenever another hero you control enters, it gains vigilance and haste until end of turn. Put a +1/+1 counter on that hero and a +1/+1 counter on Captain America. I love it. Although +1/+1 counters typically are in green, and this deck doesn't have any green, but I'm not blaming them for going red, white, and blue with Captain America. All right, let's guess our lands here. I'm going to guess that basics end here. That's a plains. That's a plains. All right, I was at least 2 off. I was 2 off. That's not the end of the world. If you guys haven't checked out the other video and seen some of the lands, we'll give you a quick look here. There is the 2 plains that you can get in this set. These are just the base lands, basic lands for the set, because there is a full Marvel standard set being released alongside these. Probably red. That's the closest to, yeah, because the blue there is kind of no good. All right, here we go, people. Flipping over the top card, we've got Rescue Pepper Pots. 1 in a blue, legendary artifact creature, human hero, 2/1, flash flying. When Rescue enters, return up to 1 other target artifact or creature you control to its owner's hand. If it was an artifact, put a +1/+1 counter on Rescue. Some nice sort of protection there, bounce protection, if you will. Avengers Monitoring Station. This is a Herald's Horn. 3 mana. As it enters, choose a creature type. Creature spells of the chosen type cost 1 less to cast. At the beginning of your upkeep, look at the top card of your library. If it's a creature card of the chosen type, you may reveal it, put it into your hand. Very good. Herald's Horn. Pretty good card. Shield Spy Satellite is a Felwar Stone. 2 mana, tap, add 1 mana of any color that a land an opponent controls could produce. Unclaimed Territory enters, choose a creature type, tap, add a colorless, add 1 mana of color, of any color, spend it only to cast that type. So definitely a hero tribal deck here. Secluded Courtyard. As this land enters, choose a creature type, tap to add a colorless, tap to add a mana of any color, spend it only to cast creature spells of the chosen type, or activate abilities of the chosen type. Path of Ancestry, we saw this in the last video, of course, enters tapped, any color in your commander's color identity, and if it shares a type, scry 1. Then we have Mystic Monastery here. This is going to be our red, white, and blue land.
Soul Ring's gonna be the shield.
Is that your guess, or do you already know that? Shield Tower is our command tower here. Makes sense. Add 1 mana of any color in our commander's color identity. Thought Vessel is, okay, that's the Mind Stone on Vision there. I was like, am I looking at a cape? No, I'm looking at a forehead. 2 mana. 2 mana. Tap to add a colorless, and of course you have no maximum hand size. Talisman of Progress with the shield symbol here. 2 mana, tap to add a colorless, or tap to add any Azorius, but it deals 1 damage to you. Very nice to see the talismans here. Talisman of Creativity, getting blue-red there. Tony Stark badge. Talisman of Conviction. So we get all 3 talismans here. Again, this is the mana base I want to see in a precon. Let's start bringing those precon power levels up just a little bit. As somebody that loves playing precons, this is, of course, Captain Marvel's symbol here. Don't love Captain Marvel, so I'm not a huge fan of that one, but it is what it is. There it is, people. The Soul Ring we've all been seeing. It is not Cap Shield. Would be pretty cool. It is the Arc Reactor in Tony's chest. Of course, considering the fact that this deck is, though it is led by Captain America, it is the Avengers deck. So it is as much Iron Man, Thor, Cap as it is any of the other ones here. Relic of Legends here with Mjolnir on it. Tap to add a mana of any color. Tap an untapped legendary creature. Add 1 mana of any color. Oh, cool. This lets you tap your legendaries for mana as well. That's pretty neat. I like that. Relic of Legend. Look at that. Hero's Blade. 2 mana equipped creature gets +3/+2. Whenever a legendary creature you control enters, you may attach this equipment to it. Otherwise, you have to pay 4 to equip. So you definitely don't want to be doing that. The Arcane Signet is the Captain America ID. I feel like this probably could have been the shield, but I know that the shield is probably in here as its own card. So Rip Apart, red and a white, choose one. Rip Apart deals 3 damage to target creature or planeswalker, or destroy target artifact or enchantment. Of course, getting some She-Hulk action there. Reconnaissance mission, like this one a lot. 2 mana and 2 blue. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you may draw a card, and it's got cycling. Of course, that is per creature that does damage, so if you can get multiple things through, it's pretty good. Arcane Denial, 1 and a blue, counter target spell. Its controller may draw up to 2 cards at the beginning of the next turn's upkeep. You draw a card at the beginning of the next turn's upkeep. Not bad, but not great. There we go. Swords to Plowshares. Exile target creature. Its controller gains life equal to its power. And we've got a good old Clint Hawkeye here, just chilling at home. Very farm boy of him, which makes sense. Make your move. 2 and a white, destroy target artifact, enchantment, or creature with power 4 or greater. Like that card a lot. Seeing a, was that Black Knight on there? Destroy evil. 1 and a white, instant. Choose one, destroy target creature with toughness 4 or greater, or destroy target enchantment. So there's some good removal in this deck, for sure, so far. Avengers Tower. This doesn't surprise me at all. This is the hero land. So, see, normally they would include a bunch of cards in these commander decks, and then you would throw things like this from the main set into it as an upgrade. Lately, they've been throwing a lot of main set cards just into the decks already. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, because if you also collect the set alongside, you're going to just have duplicates. It was always nice buying these decks, buying some packs of the main set, and always having something to upgrade. There typically is still going to be things you could slot into this, but, you know, your commons and uncommons. For example, look at this one right here. Captain America Living Legend. This card's great from the main set. It would be a great include. It's very easy to open. It's just an uncommon, but they just go ahead and include it. I think that's a good thing, because you're getting a better version of the deck out the gate if you only buy the deck. But I do like that you could have bought packs and upgraded. So I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know. Captain America Living Legend. Of course, this is a 3/4 vigilance. Whenever a creature you control becomes tapped during your turn, if it's the first time they become tapped, you untap it. Gives it pseudo vigilance, but you can also use it for like crewing and things like that. Speed, Young Avenger. I do not want to see this in this deck. Take this out. 2 mana, 2/2 haste. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you may pay 1. When you do, target creature with haste can't be blocked this turn. This is disgusting. Why is this in here? Just because it says hero? Please. There's way better cards that you could have put. What is this? Another card from the main set. I'm disappointed, people. Patriot Shield Wielder. 1 and a white, 2/2. Pay 2, tap another target creature you control, gains +2/+0 and gains hexproof. This one's actually a pretty good ability. Again, would have loved to thrown it in the deck as an upgrade, but
Take a deep breath.
another uncommon from the main set. Captain Marvel, Spaceborne, 4 and a white, Kree Soldier Hero, Flying Vigilance, 4/4, and as long as an opponent has cast a spell this turn, you may cast spells until they have flash. Very unique. Pretty much going to give you flash on all of your things as long as your opponents are casting spells. Again, would have been happy throwing it into the deck as an upgrade, but I feel like we're getting a little cheated here, people. All right, here we go. Thor Asgard Avenger, 2 and 2 red, God Warrior Hero, 4/4 flying. If another source you control would deal damage to an opponent or a permanent an opponent controls, it deals that much damage +1 instead. Not bad on a flying 4/4. This one's a big reprint. Raise the Palisade, aka Raise the Repulsor Shields. This was a big one from Lord of the Rings that I don't think has been printed since then. So it was creeping up there, like $18. 4 and a blue, choose a creature type, return all creatures that aren't of the chosen type to their owner's hands. So it's not a one-sided board wipe, but it's a one-sided board bounce for 5 mana. Very powerful. And it's pretty safe to say that in a hero deck, unless your opponent is playing this exact deck, in general commander pods, heroes weren't printed really before this set at all. So against the other decks, you might run into some issues because the other 3 decks are going to have heroes. So it's not very good against 2 of the other 3 decks in its pod. but it's really good against a lot of decks generally. Enters tapped unless you control an island or mountain, totally fine, but it does not have the land types. Not that we're actually running any sort of fetches, I doubt. This land enters tapped unless you control 2 or more opponents, so we do get the spectator seating is a commander land there. Scourged Geyser is our does have our land types. It's 2 or more basics for is it. Scavenger Ground lets you sack a desert to exile all graveyards. Seems a little targeted probably at like the Doom deck if I had to guess. Mountain or Plains, 2 basic does have the land type. Plains Island, 2 basic does have the land type. Like those ones a lot. Port Town, as this land enters, you may reveal a plains or island. If you do, it enters untapped. Those are totally fine in 2 or 3 color decks. Plaza of Heroes, tap to add a colorless, add 1 mana of any color, spend this mana only to cast a legendary spell, tap to add mana of any color among legendary permanents you control, or pay 3 tap, exile this land, target legendary creature against hexproof and indestructible. Not too shabby. Irrigated Farmlands, Plains Island Cycling, but enters tapped. Glittering Massif? I don't know. Mountains, Plains Cycling. Massive? I don't know. Glacial Fortress enters unless you control a plains or island. Or enters tapped, sorry. May reveal a mountain or plains. May reveal a mountain or island. Another exotic orchard with the same art, but very pretty. Coastal Peak. This is the Island Mountain enters tapped cycling. Clifftop Retreat enters tapped unless you control a mountain or plains. Tome of Legends. 2 mana artifact book enters with a page counter on it. Whenever your commander enters or attacks, put a page counter on this artifact. Pay 1 tap, remove a page counter, draw a card. So not bad card engine there, especially if your commander is attacking. Metallic Mimic, 2 mana artifact creature shapeshifter. As it enters, choose a creature type. This creature is the chosen type in addition to its other types. Each other creature you control of the chosen type enters with an additional +1/+1 counter on it. So sort of a Lord effect for any creature type. In this case, it's going to be hero, but you could throw that in some other stuff. Door of Destiny is getting a reprint. This one's a wild one here, guys. 4 mana. As it enters, choose a creature type. Whenever you cast a spell of the chosen type, put a charge counter on this artifact, and creatures you control of the chosen type get +1/+1 for each charge counter on this artifact. So very interesting card there. Very powerful Anthem effect, but it can take some time to get online. Kindred Discovery. Very happy to see this get reprinted. Very powerful card here. 3 mana and 2 blue enchantment. As it enters, choose a creature type. Whenever a creature you control of the chosen type enters or attacks, draw a card. You get to draw so many cards off of an enchantment like that. Gift of Immortality. 2 and a white enchantment aura. Enchant creature. Whenever enchanted creature dies, return that card to the battlefield under turner's control. Return this card to the battlefield attached to that creature at the beginning of the next end step. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Helping keep a creature around. Folk Hero. 1 and a white legendary enchantment background. Whoa, we're getting a background. That's really cool. Commander creatures you own have, whenever you cast a spell that shares a creature type with this creature, draw a card. This ability triggers only once you turn. This is going to be a powerful background. I think people are gonna like running that with some of the different background commanders. I wonder if that goes with Nick Fury. I don't know. It might. I don't know. Dismantling Wave. 2 and a white. For each opponent, destroy up to 1 target artifact or enchantment that player controls. And it has cycling. When you discard this card, draw a card. When you cycle this card, you destroy all artifacts and enchantments. So big artifact enchantment board wipe there. Or you could just ding 1 from each player. Bastion Protector. 2 and a white 3/3. Commander creatures you control have +2/+2 and have indestructible. Pretty solid commander protection there. Austere Command, we've seen this one plenty. 6 mana, 4 and 2 white. Choose 2, destroy all artifacts, destroy all enchantments, destroy all creatures with mana value 3 or less, destroy all creatures with mana value 4 or greater. And of course, you can choose those bottom 2 for it to just be a board wipe. Vision, Synthezoid Avenger. 4 mana, robot hero, 3/3 flyer. Whenever a player casts a spell, if it isn't that player's turn, you get to choose one, put a +1/+1 counter on Vision, or Vision phases out. I think Vision is one of the creatures that I can totally get behind the concept of phasing out, considering he can phase through pretty much anything. So that is flavorful enough. Jocasta, Automaton Avenger. I don't know who this one is. Robot Hero 2/2 Flyer. Whenever your commander deals combat damage to a player, put a +1/+1 counter on Jocasta. Whenever you attack with your commander, if this card is in your graveyard, you may return it to the battlefield tapped and attacking. I mean, seems fine. Doesn't seem great, but hey, it gets a hero trigger. Hulk Buster Armor. I like it. 4 mana, legendary artifact equipment. Equipped creature has base power and toughness 9/9. That's base power and toughness 9/9. And has flying. It's got equip hero 3 and then just equip 6 for anything that's not a hero. Avengers Quinjet, 5 mana, 4/4 flying. Whenever this vehicle enters or attacks, choose one. You may put a hero card from your hand onto the battlefield. Return target hero creature card from your graveyard to your hand. And it's got crew 3. Not too shabby. Shang-Chi and the 10 Rings. 1 a white and a blue, 2/2 first strike. Whenever you draw a card, put a +1/+1 counter on Shang-Chi. So you can get pretty big, and first strike's pretty good. When the 10th +1/+1 counter is put on Shang-Chi, you draw 5 cards and you gain 5 life. So very good payoff if you can get him to being a 12/12. Gonna take a while there, but could still be good. Scarlet Witch, the Chaotic Avenger. 2 mana and a blue and a red, flying 3/3. Whenever Scarlet Witch deals combat damage to a player, look at the top 2 cards of your library, then exile them face down. Then you may cast a hero or non-creature spell from among the exile cards with Scarlet Witch without paying its mana cost. So a lot of text there, but does get you some free spells, some impulse draw. Not too shabby. Quicksilver Speedster, 3 a blue and a red, mutant hero, 3/4 flash, double strike, and haste. As long as Quicksilver is tapped, you may cast spells as though they had flash. I like that ability a lot. But of course, he does have to be tapped. Love on the Battlefield. 1 a blue and a red enchantment. Whenever you attack with exactly 2 creatures, those creatures gain first strike until end of turn, then draw a card. Whenever either of those creatures deal combat damage to a player, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Not too bad, but you have to attack with exactly 2 creatures. A little specific. Hawkeye Avenging Archer, 2 a blue and a red, a human archer hero, 3/4 with reach. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, if Hawkeye dealt damage to it this turn, draw a card, and you can tap him to deal 1 damage to any target, which is really powerful because if something's about to die, you can just get in 1 damage just to be able to draw a card. So I do like that a good bit. Aha, here we go. Director Nick Fury. This is an optional alt commander here. Blue, red, and a white. Hero spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Whenever you attack, look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal a hero card from among them and put that card into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. 2/4. This is a very strong card for this deck. Really good at going and just getting you that next hero that you need. Captain Marvel, Apex Avenger. 5 a red and a white. 4/4 flying double strike indestructible. Sure. Whenever you put 1 or more counters on another creature, if it's not a Kree, you may put the same number and kind of counters on Captain Marvel. That's pretty cool. It's pretty neat. Pretty nifty there. Black Widow, Agile Avenger. 1 a red and a white, 2/2 menace human spy hero. Whenever an opponent draws their second card each turn, put a +1/+1 counter on Black Widow. And you draw a card. Drawing a card whenever a player draws their second card, pretty good. As people like card advantage, and I like benefiting off of other people's card advantage. Ant-Man, Elusive Avenger. 1 a blue and a red, human rogue hero, 1/2. Ant-Man can't be blocked by creatures with greater power. Whenever Ant-Man deals combat damage to a player, create that many treasure tokens. I'm seeing why there are so many treasure tokens in here. They are basically exclusively for Ant-Man, is what I'm thinking now. War Machine Avenging Arsenal. 4 and a red, flying 3/5. Whenever War Machine attacks, attacking modified creatures you control gain double strike until end of turn. Modified, of course, meaning equipped, auras, or counters are all counted as modified. She-Hulk Wallbreaker. 5 and a red, trample 5/5. Other heroes you control get trample. Whenever a hero you control becomes blocked, put a +1/+1 counter on that hero for each creature blocking it. Not bad. Give things a little extra buff there, but nothing too crazy. Photon, Mighty Marvel. 3 and a red, flying 2/4. Whenever Photon deals combat damage to a player, add that much mana of any one color until end of turn. You don't lose this mana as steps and phases ends. Pretty nice, so you can use it in your second main phase. Firebird, Blazing Ranger. 2 and a red, flying 1/3. Whenever Firebird attacks, Other attacking creatures get +X/+0 until end of turn, where X is Firebird's power. Seems fine, but nothing crazy. Does buff up the whole squad if you're like full sending. X and 2 blue West Coast expansion. Draw X cards. If X is 5 or more, you may cast a hero spell from your hand without paying its mana cost. Pretty nice. That one's pretty cool. I do like a 7 mana, draw 5, and play something for free. Seems really good. The Wasp, Winsome Avenger, 1 and a blue, flash, flying. When the Wasp enters, target hero gains hexproof until end of turn. Whenever the Wasp attacks, tap target creature defending player controls. Pretty good. Good protection there on the Wasp. Professor Hulk. I hate Smart Hulk. It's fine. 4 and 2 blue, Gamma Scientist Hero, 6/6, trample. Whenever Professor Hulk deals combat damage to a player, draw that many cards. That's really strong, though. That's really strong. Jarvis. Oh, Earth's mightiest butler. That's a cute name. 2 and a blue, Human Advisor. Whenever you cast a hero spell, draw a card. Very good engine there. Love to see it on Jarvis. Iron Man, Armored Avenger, 3 and a blue, flying. Whenever you draw a card, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. Whenever Iron Man attacks, other attacking modified creatures gain flying until end of turn. So works well with Rhodey, so War Machine. Winter Soldier, Reborn Avenger, 4 and a white, Human Soldier Hero, 3/5. Whenever Winter Soldier attacks, return target creature card with mana value less than or equal to Winter Soldier's power from your graveyard to the battlefield. If a hero enters this way, it enters with an additional +1/+1 counter on it. So heroes are going to be buffed a good bit, just putting that out there. Methods of the Mighty, 3 and a white, choose 1 or more. Destroy target artifact, destroy target tapped creature, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Very powerful. Heroic Sacrifice, 1 and a white instant, choose target creature you control. Until end of turn, all damage that would be dealt to you and creatures you control is dealt to the chosen creature instead. When that creature dies this turn, put its counters on up to 1 target creature you control and draw a card. Pretty neat. Heroic Return, 5 and a white. The spell costs 2 less to cast if a creature is attacking you. Return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. If a hero entered this way, it enters with 2 additional +1/+1 counters on it. Not too shabby. Nice little catch them off guard. Hercules, Olympian Hero, 3 and 2 white, Demigod Warrior Hero, 3/3. Whenever Hercules attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on him. He gains indestructible until end of turn. Whenever Hercules is dealt damage for the first time each turn, put that many +1/+1 counters on him. Pretty cool. I think it said there in the flavor text, he must survive to get the +1/+1 counters. So they will not keep him alive. Falcon and Redwing, 2 and a white, flying. Whenever Falcon and Redwing deals combat damage to a player, create that many 1/1 white bird creature tokens with flying, then put a +1/+1 counter on Falcon and Redwing. So this is why we have like 20 1/1 birds, is because you could end up smacking in a whole bunch with that. And here we have it, 4 and 2 white, keeping it simple. Avenge. Sorcery, it costs 2 less to cast if a player attacked you during their last turn. Destroy all creatures. You gain 1 life for each creature destroyed this way. So it's a 4 mana board wipe as long as you're avenging, which I think is pretty flavorful.
There is no ultimate.
Technically, it's Nick Fury.
Well,
He just wasn't placed because he was
not in the style they do the alt commanders.
Yeah, I know. But like, because they always detail like what you can do for your alt commander. Nick Fury is the other red, white, and blue. You can run it as your commander, and it will work. He is a hero card, so he will work just fine as the commander. I think running this with Captain America is probably strong. I won't lie, this probably feels like the deck where they did the most. What if we just throw in a bunch of the named heroes and you know, things? Yeah. So I don't know how well this works synergistically. You know, I mean, I think it is nice to have a deck where we're getting a bunch of like hero tribal cards because you now can build hero tribal. I don't know if Captain America Team Leader is the best hero tribal card or if it's like Nick Fury or something like that would be better. But this is the deck. We will give you guys our... Oh, we didn't rate the deck in the last video. Yeah, we normally do that. We'll have to rate both of them here. So we'll rate this and then we'll rate Fantastic Four for people that happen to have watched this one. So there's our first shuffle, feeling clean. These are all going to be in black sleeves because it's unfortunately what we have, but we will be putting the commanders in their nice colorful sleeves. So there's a nice, whoa, okay, we're just going to leave him off of the deck then. little bit of this action. A little bit of this right here. Boom. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I think I'm giving this deck a 6 out of 10. It feels a little sporadic. It doesn't feel like it has a ton of synergy. Now, maybe that's just me not realizing because everything's a hero. It's all going to have, haste and vigilance and be buffed up by a +1/+1. But generally speaking, I'm just a little concerned that this deck is a little low on the power level and kind of lost itself in just being the here's all the Marvel superheroes deck. But I could be mistaken. Right now, I'm going to give it a 6. My love, what are you going to give this deck?
I'm gonna give this 5.
5 out of 10. She's not super excited for it, people. Why a 5?
Well, a 5 is in the middle.
That's true.
A 5 is about meh.
Yeah.
And I think meh just because they did a lot of like, oh, well, let's just throw every hero in here.
That's fair. I think
I get that it's a hero deck, but also like there's a few heroes I've never heard of in my life.
that's fair. I think flavor and build wise, I'm excited obviously for a lot of the cards in this deck, but it does seem like one of those where you could kind of take it apart, use the parts of it that you're really excited for because that's one of your favorite heroes, and kind of not use everything else in it. But we'll see. Rating the Fantastic Four deck, because we forgot to rate it at the last one, I think personally I'd probably give that one a 7. I'm just a little bit more excited for it. I think the heroes in it are heroes I'm a little less familiar with, so I don't quite have as much like nostalgia is not really the right word, but just like nostalgia or fan commitment to those heroes. But it seems like the deck is much more synergistic because it's all circled around those non-creature spells, and everything is either a non-creature spell or pretty much a payoff for casting non-creature spells. So I think it's going to play very synergistically, which excites me as a player. So I'm going to give that one a 7 out of 10. What do you give Fantastic Four, my love? She does not like 4-color decks. A 4 out of 10. A 4 for Fantastic Four. I love it. All right. Well, that's probably mainly because she doesn't like 4-color decks and doesn't like handling a mana base.
I've never seen anything Fantastic Four in my life.
All right, people. We have 2 decks left. We're still going to have... It's probably going to do Wakanda Forever and then end on the villains is probably the order that we'll do these. But we'll be getting them out to you whenever we do. Make sure you stay tuned for that. Check out anything else on the channel that you guys want. We got all sorts of stuff. TTRPG stuff, Magic content, video game content, and everything nerdy. Bringing it to you guys. Make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe. Any and all of it's greatly appreciated. Your support helps out the channel so much. And we will see you guys in whatever comes next. Until then, may those rolls be ever in your favor. We'll see you guys next time. Peace out. Bye, y'all.